Hey everyone, what's going on? Welcome back to another episode of my Manchester United career on FIFA 14. And kicking off this episode, we had a game against Cardiff. Now I decided to take a risk and sim this game, and it was Danny Welbeck that got the winner. It was just a 1-0 win. Seemed very boring, to be honest, not much really happening, as you saw with the summary there on the right hand side as well. A couple of yellow cards, a couple of substitutions. So at the time I wasn't really feeling as though I wanted to get stuck in with the game against Cardiff, because I wanted to concentrate on our next game in the Premier League, which was away from home against Tottenham. There might be some of you out there that are against simming games when playing a season through, and the majority of the time I don't do it either. I'm kind of against it, but at the time of actually playing game after game, you know, trying to record some footage for you guys, I just thought, you know what, I'm going to skip on the Cardiff game and just play this one against Tottenham and carry on from there, because we've got some important games coming up and you're going to see that in the next couple of episodes. And before I go any further, you guys, once again, you've been amazing with your feedback, hitting that like button. It's been amazing. I do want to clear up one thing. I know there's been a few of you saying that I should sign this player, I should sign that player. Oh, you was a fool for concentrating on your back four, things like that. I felt as though it was vital to concentrate my back four first before I overhaul the midfield. I recognise that it needs to be done, and it will be done. I'm not sure how I'm going to get on when January rolls around for the transfer window, because as you know, I've only got 300 grand to play with, and you're not really going to be bringing in top players like Tony Cruz or Gundogan or someone like that. You know, you're not going to be bringing them in with that type of money. Whether I sell a player like Fellaini, you know, I don't really want to get rid of Fellaini. I want to work with him. I want to see what he can maybe do for the rest of this season, maybe the season after. And I do believe that that should be applied to real life as well with Fellaini at United. I mean, Fellaini, when he came to United in the summer, he had a lot of pressure on him because he was Moyes' only signing at the time. And it was disappointing because we all expected top players to come in and it seemed like it was a rush buy. But I remember when Fergie was at United and we saw Fellaini at Everton, and I remember thinking to myself a couple of times, you know, I think Fellaini coming to United would be a bit of business. I think he could eventually become a top player. Definitely someone that would be picked for the first team for the majority of the season. I think it's rare that when United sign a player they perform straight away. It takes a very special type of player. Robin van Persie was one of those, as we saw 2 seasons ago when he first joined United under Sir Alex. You know, he pretty much helped United win that Premier League title. So I think holding on to Fellaini, I think that would be a wise move for now. It's going to be very interesting to see how he performs under Van Gaal. Well, I suppose that applies to every player in the United squad at the moment, plus the new ones that are to come in. But getting rid of Fellaini in this summer transfer window in real life, I think it would be a bit of a mistake, a bit of a knee-jerk reaction, totally not needed. It'd be a shame to see such a talent go to waste, because then they fall into that trap of moving club to club to club to club, and then they just can't get going. I mean, Fellaini was brilliant at Everton, you can't deny that. Those games that he did start last season for United, because he was out for a couple of months, wasn't he, with a broken hand, broken wrist, broken arm, something broken. But you know, he showed so many positive signs when on that pitch. He is your typical ball-winning midfielder. That is someone that United need, and I think given time, I think he'll turn into a top player at United. It's all going to be very exciting next season, new era. I'm looking forward to it. Let me know, guys, what you think about Fellaini. Should he be sold in the summer in real life, or should we give him another season to see what he can do for the club? Let me know what you think in the comments below. So, as you just saw, we drew 0-0 against Tottenham at White Hart Lane. Disappointing result. I wanted to come away from London with maximum points. You know, we had so many chances on goal, we just failed to finish them off, even with Rooney and Van Persie starting up front. So disappointing. I thought we were going to get a good result from that game, but it just wasn't to be. And I believe that Chelsea also won as well, so that wasn't good, because they're now starting to pull away in the league. So we got a bit of catch up to do. in the Premier League. Now anyway, on to this game. It was against Man City, Manchester derby, but it was in the Capital One Cup. It wasn't in the Premier League. There were no points on the line for this one, just a place in the next round of the Capital One Cup. And sticking to my guns, I started James Wilson for this game. He's started pretty much every Capital One Cup fixture that I've had now this season, and he's performed. He really has, getting himself on the score sheet, helping out in such crucial games. I can see us possibly pushing for the semi-finals, maybe even the final, with performances from James Wilson. Such a quick finisher in that 6-yard box. It's a shame that his stamina lets him down at the moment because he is a young player, but I'm sure as the seasons go on, that'll only get better. Fellaini had a great chance here. Too many bodies in the area there for the ball to whiz past them and maybe have an effective shot on target, testing Joe Hart. I find it kind of funny actually that Man City, they started their best 11 against United. I don't think they were really expecting me to go with Danny Welbeck on the left, Valencia on the right, James Wilson up front. Januzaj was in there as well. Actually, I think I started Welbeck as a central attacking mid in that number 10 role, just slipping in behind James Wilson there. I'd like to think that I caught Pellegrini off guard with that team selection. I'm not sure if any of you guys have come across this on FIFA, but whenever I play a different side to my normal starting 11, especially with younger players in the side, I always find it easier to make something happen against the bigger teams in the Premier League like City, Arsenal, Chelsea, Liverpool. Not sure what that's all about. Maybe it's just FIFA working its magic. But as you see here, yeah, it was Rooney that got the first goal for United. He came on as a substitute, replacing Danny Welbeck. I watched the replay. I thought this was very interesting, very cool as well from James Wilson. Mixing it up with Wayne Rooney, kind of distracting the two centre-backs for Man City. Watch James Wilson come in now. He's like distracting company. And for that split second, it allowed Rooney to have a go at goal. And it paid off. Man United 1-0 up against City. I look to then extend my lead to 2. Januzaj, so unfortunate to be hitting the post there. Why couldn't that post have worked in my favour again like it did for Rooney? I'm not sure why, but you know, it was good attacking movement. We were really pressing City for this second goal, and we eventually got it. Januzaj did get his goal that he was looking for earlier on in the 85th minute. Oh, what a finish it was, straight up into that right hand corner. And it certainly doesn't get any better than that. Seeing the Man City players disheartened with themselves, lack of enthusiasm towards the game as United extended their lead to 2, and just look at Januzaj's first touch there, controlling the ball nicely, and that allowed him to pop off a shot. Wonderful goal. All I had to do was hold on to this and we'd be through to the next round of the Capital One Cup. There were a few signs from Man City that they wanted to get back into this game. Fernandinho did get a goal back for Man City, and you know, hats off to him. It was a decent goal. It was a nice finish, but at least we came away with that win. We knocked Man City out of the Capital One Cup. No better feeling than that. I know it's not the biggest competition in the world, but it's good to get one over on your bitter rivals. So there we have it then. We are through to the semi-finals of the Capital One Cup. You've got Man City in there. You've got Wolves after beating Cardiff 5-4 on penalties. Chelsea are through after an easy victory against West Brom. And of course, United are through. We will be playing Chelsea home and away. 2 legs for the semi-finals of the Capital One Cup. That first fixture is away at Stamford Bridge. So we need to make sure that we can get a couple of goals there. But look at this. So many important games coming up, guys. Especially in January. We've got to play Chelsea 3 times. We've got to play Tottenham, we got to play Swansea, Arsenal. So many tough games coming up. And I mean, look at this. We got Newcastle, Villa, Everton, West Ham. And you know, I'm getting sick of this as well, with just a day between each games. EA, sort your shit out, seriously. Because as you know, it just doesn't happen in real life. You're never going to see Man United playing a Premier League game on Friday and then another Premier League game on that Sunday. It just doesn't happen. And it's even worse when it comes to the game, because your top players, they're not going to be fit. And if you do start them when they are unfit, then you've got more chance that they're going to pick up an injury and maybe be out for a couple of months. So the whole calendar, it just needs completely revamping. Take it out, start afresh. And you guys, If you think that's bad, you'll see fixture congestion taken to the extreme, and I'm sure there's some out there that have actually experienced this as well. But I had to play something like 4, maybe even 5 games in 1 week. That's pretty much like a game a day. It's ridiculous, madness. But anyway, we'll see what happens come September. Hopefully they've sorted it out. So our last game of this episode was against Newcastle at Old Trafford. Needed a win here. And whenever I do play Newcastle on FIFA, I always seem to have a hell of a time. I really enjoy it. Nani got us off to a good start with the opening goal, making it 1-0. I thought there was going to be a penalty. There was definitely appeals, but we got a corner out of it. Rooney stepped up to take it, swung it in. It was Hummels with a good effective header. The ball bounced off the post back out. I thought maybe Van Persie or Fellaini would have got to it before Hummels, but no, Hummels stayed persistent and got his goal. He made it 2-0 to Manchester United. Good half volley. Krul unable to get to it, too slow to lift himself off the ground, as you'll see here, as the ball came back out. Good finish, and we'll see that again. You know, it's not very often you'll see a centre-back score a goal like that, even though it was an open goal. Wonderful finish. It's an art to see. And he was captain for this game, actually. I didn't change that one around. Don't normally give the captain's armband to newer players. I think they need to earn it first, but that's just FIFA. I wanted to get into this game. I was looking forward to it against Newcastle. Always have done for some reason on FIFA. Before half-time though, momentum certainly was on Newcastle's side. They kept pushing to get back into this game, to make it 2-1. Remy with a poor shot as he just dribbles past the post, and De Gea just stood there shaking his head. Face palm for Remy. But Van Persie in the second half, a good shot here, straight down the middle. The ball swerving, trying to find the back of the net, but Tim Krul standing firm and just parrying that one behind. Wayne Rooney with another chance. I thought it was creeping in to the top right hand corner, but there just wasn't enough curl on the ball for it to go into the back of the net to extend United's lead to 3. I did want to settle this fixture against Newcastle. I wanted to make it 3-0. It was Danny Welbeck that swung in the cross, and Wayne Rooney, so unfortunate. It was going in, but Tim Krul, defiant as ever, just knocking it away. We got a corner from it, and nothing really came of that, guys. So that's pretty much it. We went on and beat Newcastle 2-0, kept that clean sheet, and that, guys, will be the end of this episode. I do hope that you've all enjoyed. If you didn't know already, you can follow me on both Twitter and Facebook. The links can be found in the description below, and I will see you all very soon for the next one. Thanks for watching.